this video, I will show you how to do multiplication of complex numbers. Suppose I want to multiply these two complex numbers, a plus bi and c plus di. Here what I need to do is to remove all the brackets. That means I have to apply the distributive law of multiplication. I need to multiply a to c, and then I multiply a to di. At the same time, I need to multiply bi to c, and I need to multiply bi to di. As a result, my product should be a times c plus a times di plus bci plus bdi squared. And now I need to simplify this a little bit because I know that I squared is minus 1. Therefore, I should know that these two are real numbers. AC and BDI squared are real numbers, and I can group them as like terms. So I have AC minus BD here. And then for these two numbers, they are imaginary numbers, and I can group them to make them AB plus BC I. And that's how we do the multiplication of complex numbers. We need to expand the bracket, and then we group the real parts and the imaginary parts. Let's take a look at these two examples. Suppose I need to simplify 2 plus I times 4 plus 7i. What I need to do here is to calculate 2 times 4, and then I calculate 2 times 7i, and then I times 4, and I times 7i, that means 7i squared. And now I know that 2 times 4 is 8, and 7i squared means minus 7 because I squared is equal to minus 1. So I have 8 minus 7, which is 1. And then I have 14i here and 4i here. 14 plus 4, we have 18i. So the answer is 1 plus 18i. And then in the second example, we can apply this identity. A squared minus 2ab plus b squared. In this question, a is 1, and then b is 5i. And therefore, this will become 1 minus 10i plus 25i squared. Here I know that I squared is minus 1, so it becomes 1 minus 25, which is minus 24. So the answer is minus 24 minus 10i. Now let's take a look at a special case of multiplication of complex numbers. Suppose we have two complex numbers and their real parts are the same, and the imaginary part of this complex number is the negative of the other one. Then we say that these two complex numbers are conjugate of each other. If we have conjugate multiplication of complex numbers, we can have a simple rule to memorize. If we expand this, we will end up with something like this. We have a squared minus abi plus abi minus b squared I squared. And here these two terms can cancel out each other. Therefore, the result would be a squared, minus b squared times minus 1, so that's plus b squared. If a and b are non-zero real numbers, this result is always positive. So this is a simple result to memorize. If we have conjugate multiplication of complex numbers, we just need to square both the real parts and the imaginary parts, and then we add them up, and this result should be positive. For example, let's take a look at this example. Suppose I want to calculate 1 plus 3i times 1 minus 3i. This is a conjugate multiplication of complex numbers, and therefore what I need to do is to square the real part, and then I square the imaginary part, and then I add them up, and the result should be 10. Therefore, this is a simple calculation. We just need to memorize this formula, and then we square both real parts and imaginary parts, and then we add them up.